Welcome back, everyone. It is Friday once again, and the weekend is upon us, and it's time for Binge-Worthy Fridays.
Time to give you all those shows that you need to watch that you can relax in your PJs all weekend, sit in that bathrobe, and ignore all your friends and family and just have some me time.
Or you time, as it were. For this week, we're going to start off with Blacklist.
The Blacklist, if you've not seen, is an hour-long drama, I guess. It airs on NBC. It stars James Spader, so you know it's got to be good, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it basically, the Blacklist is this former Navy officer who ended up like his character he's on the FBI's top 10 most wanted, and he just walks into the FBI headquarters one day and surrenders to the FBI. And in questioning him, he says, "Hey, I've got this blacklist of all of the most dangerous criminals in the world, most of them you've never heard of, and I'm going to help you catch all of these guys. But if I do that, you have to give me immunity, and I have to work with this one specific agent, an FBI profiler. She's like a rookie profiler. It's her first day on the job." And Raymond Reddington, played by James Spader, pops in and says, "I'm only going to work with her." The show it's from a bad guys sort of... If you like bad guys, I think you'll like this one.
James Spader, and by no sense is a good guy at all.
Yeah, he plays the bad guy really, really well. I mean, Spader's an amazing actor, but he plays the bad guy really well in this. It's really well written. Each episode is based on one criminal, so they hunt one criminal per episode, unless it's really, really dramatic, but they try not to keep not any real two-part episodes because this one bad guy was like super bad. It just sort of depends on where they are on the blacklist. So an episode will start off with number 10 on the list, and the entire episode they're trying to get that one blacklister, that one bad guy. The way that he's doing it, or the way that it plays out in the show, is that he's strategically getting these guys captured because it serves his ulterior purpose, which you don't know what it is. You don't know why he wants Elizabeth Keene and will only talk to Elizabeth Keene. So you don't know what that relationship is about. So there are a few mysteries built into the show itself. It sort of plays out throughout the season. There's that arc where you kind of see what's happening. It's not your typical procedural, your FBI movies. Right. It's not one of those you profile a guy and then you go and then you find random clues, and then it's not like that at all. It's sort of
it's mostly through the point of view. It's weird because it's sort of through the point of view of both James Spader and
Elizabeth Keene.
And Elizabeth Keene. It's more, I would say it would be 60% Elizabeth Keene's point of view and trying to figure out what James Spader's about. On the flip side, you see all the messed up stuff that James Spader does. The thing that I like about it is from the get-go, you know that James Spader's the bad guy, because those guys that he encounters or that he's helping the FBI hunt down, when he gets a hold of them, it's not for the intentions of turning them in. More likely than not,
they have something that he wants, and he's either trying to get it from him, or he legitimately wants to stop them from doing what they do, so he helps them to find them in order to kill them or something. Yeah, like
he does. There were a couple moments, episodes that I was really shocked, in the sense that they kind of pointed in a direction while he's just waiting for backup or waiting for the FBI to show up to take so-and-so to jail. No, they're in pieces by the time that the FBI shows up. And he sort of has that's one less bad person in the world attitude.
It's in its third season now, so it's currently on NBC. So if you want to catch it, you still have a lot of time. You can catch it on Netflix. Season 1 and 2 are on Netflix. Like I said, they're on the third season now.
I think season 3 is on Hulu, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it probably is. It's an NBC show, so you've got a good shot at it being on Hulu.
Yeah, so definitely go ahead and watch that one. You definitely won't be disappointed.
You definitely won't. It'll take you legitimately...
Maybe 2 episodes?
No, not even that. I think the pilot was amazing. The pilot was really well done. So I think from that first episode, you'll definitely want to see more. By the time you get hooked, I would say it's by I don't know, the second one maybe, or
Yeah.
not even. I was hooked off to the first one because
Yeah.
that's how great the pilot was. So.
Yeah, it's sort of it had. I was gonna say it's good enough to be a movie, but that's such a crappy statement now because a lot of shows are better than a lot of movies that are coming out.
There's a lot of good TV out
There's
there.
a lot of good TV, and this is definitely one of them. The acting is incredible. Obviously, James Spader is amazing.
All right, so yeah, that's my pick for the week. I think you should definitely watch it. They're like 23 episode seasons. It's an hour long. So I don't know if you'll catch up on it all in one weekend, but it's a really great show, and it's definitely worth checking out. If you love like crime drama, this is definitely one of those.
Our next pick for this week is going to be Daredevil. Season 2 is starting up on March 18th. You can catch season 1 on Netflix. It's a 1-hour show. If you're not familiar with Daredevil, it revolves around Matt Murdock, who is this attorney who was blinded when he was a kid. And basically, he gains super senses at the detriment of losing his sight. So his whole thing is he can detect whether or not you're lying based off of your heart rate, and he has a whole list of abilities revolving around his senses.
It's actually, if you haven't heard about it, I don't know why you haven't. It's one of the Netflix originals that really, really took off. I'm talking, it's like in the House of Cards kind of thing. Like, it was produced and made by Netflix. It is a Marvel show, so it's definitely got the Marvel feel to it.
It's a grittier version than what you're used to as far as Marvel. It is still connected with the rest of the Marvel movies and the shows. There's a couple events from the movies that are mentioned in the show, and that's one of the big things that I like about Marvel. Everything is connected.
But again, you don't need to know what happens in anything else to watch this show alone. If you didn't know anything about Marvel, if you didn't know about Daredevil, I think on its own, it's a legitimately great show.
Right, and the thing about it is that it doesn't have like a superhero feel to it. Mainly because it feels like it's very ground level. When it comes to the overall arc of the Marvel universe.
It's not really, you don't see like superhero-y stuff. So you don't see like guys flying or like those
dudes
crazy
in capes and stuff.
Right, it's not like that sort of, it's like a real life kind of show. It's like this guy's a normal guy with all these superhuman abilities, and he goes to fight people, and he really does get messed up, and he comes back and he has to rest and heal because he's got broken ribs and so on and so forth. So it's very very true to life.
Yeah,
kind of
and the way they set up his senses and everything, they don't make it seem very far fetched. Obviously it's exaggerated for the sake of the show, but it's sort of like it seems plausible, is what I want to say. It doesn't seem like there isn't a huge stretch of the imagination, and all the characters are very human.
Right, everything is sort of grounded in reality. The characters are, his friends are curious about what the hell, why does he keep disappearing and what keeps happening to him. His friends, just like your friends would be in real life if you got beat up and you legitimately went missing for 2 weeks because you had to be home healing and you couldn't come up with a good excuse for why all your ribs are broken.
Right. The actors on this in this show are incredible. Most notably, Vincent D'Onofrio, who plays Wilson Fisk,
aka the Kingpin.
He's in all honesty, he has some of the best parts of the show, and as interesting as Matt Murdock is, Wilson Fisk isn't just like
I said, everything was grounded in reality, so you sort of see his progression as to how he became a bad guy or why he's doing what he's doing.
Yeah, even though he's tied into a lot of these criminal enterprises, there's also this other side to him that makes him seem you can actually
relate to him.
You could actually relate to him and find some kind of justification for his behavior.
Right. He's not
two-dimensional.
See that over the top sort of stuff that you saw Fox do with with Kingpins and other
and
movies.
yeah, and the Ben Affleck.
All right. By the way, it should be stated that this has nothing to do with that movie at all.
Yeah.
It's it's the complete opposite of that movie in
Right.
every way possible.
Yeah.
Like you don't even see like Daredevil doesn't even get his suit at the beginning of the series just because again it's an arc, so it's leading up to it. It's sort of the first season is what you would see in a superhero movie of a superhero discovering his powers. That's sort of where the first season of Daredevil is.
Yeah.
He doesn't fully get all of his powers by the end of the first season, but when I say get, he doesn't fully understand how to use it and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's sort of that first season is him like building up and developing into this larger than life superhero character.
That's why I like the show, because it seems very grounded in the sense that all the time and effort that it took for him to become this realized superhero, or vigilante, as it were. That's a big thing about this, and I like how it's very grounded. It's in reality.
This is gonna be really different for you. I think this is sort of like the new Batman series, sort of like that the Christopher Nolan-y sort of really gritty, based in somewhat real life kind of thing. So I think it's gonna be something that you'll really like. If you like the newer Batman movies, mm-hmm. I think you would like this one as well.
Yeah, and another thing that differentiates this from all the other Marvel movies is that it doesn't pull any punches. This is a full on what you would expect HBO type show to be. It's very graphic in the sense of the violence, the language. It's definitely not for kids. Just giving you a heads up on that. But it's an adult show. It's a very short show. It's 11 episodes?
It's like 10 or 11.
I think it's roughly about 10.
13 max for sure.
Yeah, something along those lines. It's a short season, so you can seriously knock it out in a weekend, especially this weekend with season 2 coming out.
And I think we all know, I'm a huge fan of a shortened season because the writing tends to be a lot better when you have to write 13 episodes as opposed to writing like a 23 episode show, which is a lot harder to sort of make every episode in a 23 episode show really, really good.
Yeah, definitely recommend watching this one. So that pretty much wraps it up for this weekend. Let us know what you thought of our recommendations. Let us know if you saw Daredevil or Blacklist and what you thought of those. And let us know if you have any recommendations for us for next week. Thanks everybody for watching. Please like and subscribe. And on that note, we're out of here.